Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Phuket Insights. And today I'm joined by Jay Yoder. I'm looking forward to finding out what brought him to Phuket and his story so far. Well, Jay, thanks for coming in.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. I wasn't sure what I was going to walk into, but this is a very professional setup. So,
Okay, well, can you tell me fairly briefly, but who you are and what do you do?
my name's Jay Yoder, and what I do for work is I run a small digital marketing company, and that's primarily based out of California. And so I work nights. So if I have bags under my eyes, I'm sorry, but and then yeah, that's what I do. I've been traveling for about 15 years and been living here about 1 year. So,
And so what were you doing before you came to Phuket?
oh, I went through a very, very rough patch before Phuket. I guess if rewind to about 4 or 5 years ago, I was working in the tech industry in San Francisco for a telecommunications company, and then just was unhappy. I went to college. I worked years to get there, worked my way up to different departments, and just was miserable. I hated the city. I was sick of the weather, sick of the politics, and then I was engaged to get married, quit my job, fiance didn't work out, went broke, started a business, COVID hit, moved back home with my younger cousin, her husband, which was very demoralizing. And spent 2 years with them. Business was failing. Moved in with my mom into her living room, converted into a room, and my business started to take off after several years, and I started to make money, and I started looking at rent in California, and I wasn't even that nice of an area where I grew up, but it was just so expensive. So I said, you know what, I went to Vietnam, I traveled a lot, I went to Vietnam years ago, and I've always dreamed of moving there, and this would be the time to come, and I ended up in Thailand instead of Vietnam, but here I am, so. Yeah.
And what was the turning point? What was the key issue or the key thing that happened that said, right, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to relocate to Phuket.
It was always a dream. Like, it was always in my head. I want to go to Southeast Asia. I just, like I said, I did come to Thailand for vacation a few years ago, and I ended up in Kamala Beach, which I just was randomly there and loved it. I missed my flight out of Bangkok back home, and I was working for a company and running my business at the same time. And my company was a little wary about me living out of the States, and I was gonna try to VPN it for a while and trick them, but I missed my flight, and I was contemplating, okay, this is a good excuse to just try to live here. I wussed out and ended up getting another flight and going back home, and it just always stuck in my head. But probably about 15 years it's been in my head since I went to Vietnam, and I was just looking at rent, and yeah, it was just depressing, the apartment I was looking at and the price and the grocery store, and I wasn't excited to live in the town I was in, and I just said, you know what, screw it. Just one night, bought a ticket, came here for 2 months, tested it, working at night, and it worked out. So I went back home for a couple months, tidied up some stuff, and then came back.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you got here, what were your first impressions, and more specifically, expectations against reality? What can you tell me about that?
Expectation wise, I think I'm probably still going through the reality part. Been here a year, so it's not as long as many people, maybe even yourself, I assume. But I was like, oh, I died and woke up in heaven. You know, I was going to the beach every morning before work, and everyone was so friendly and nice. And, you know, you're the new guy in town, and how are you? And once people realize you live here, they tend to be a little more open. And reality is probably still setting in, where now you're starting to see, like, sometimes behind the niceness, there's maybe some depression with someone or a problem with someone, which is normal human behavior. But yeah, I would say ultimately it's been great. There hasn't been anything that I'm terribly unhappy about. Maybe because my life was so shitty 4 or 5 years before this that I'm just very blessed to be here. Yeah.
Right, so everything's been positive. There's not been anything that you thought that would be lovely and it actually turned out to be quite difficult, or vice versa? Like I say, the question is based on expectations and reality,
Yeah.
because a lot of people, when they come to Asia, they'll have some
Yeah.
sort of conceived ideas that sometimes can cause issues.
Yeah, well, 100%. But I've traveled a lot, so I try not to have too many expectations because I don't want to be disappointed. And but yeah, there's stuff like banking. I still don't have a Thai bank.
Oh, you've not managed to sort that.
No, I'm still trying. So when I came here, I was going to get the DTV visa. It's like great, 5-year visa, multi-entry, awesome. My neighbor, who's a wealth of knowledge, lived here a long time. He told me that I should get the education visa. One, I could try to learn Thai, and two, it's easier to open a bank account through that visa. So I was told. But I guess in June or July of 2025, they had the banking crisis here or something like that, and I just haven't. I've gone only to a few banks, but they've been like, no, wait. So
Um, so you're on an education visa because you're studying Thai.
yeah,
The school should help you sort out your bank. You will need their help. You will need letters and help from the school. Otherwise, the Thai banks can be difficult. It's not that they're being difficult. There's usually a language barrier or a process barrier, and life's just so much easier if you're with somebody that knows what they want. And so, in your situation, I would definitely get a bank as soon as you can, and I would approach your school and say, look, you've sorted out my education visa. I need a Thai bank. Help me sort it out, and that's what you should do. Because moving forward, having a Thai bank and having some money in it that you can show you've kept in it for some time will make other visas much easier.
okay, yeah. I definitely went to the school, and they're the ones that told me, well, since June, July of 2025, it's been a little harder for foreigners to get bank accounts. I've heard rumors that I need to go to different banks and stuff like this.
I'm not going to say anything
Yeah.
negative about your school, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, it should be possible. I mean, it's obviously easier if you've got, you can't do it on a tourist visa, obviously, but on your education visa, it should be possible. I've heard other people doing it. Or maybe next year you look into the DTV visa, or the more digital nomad, especially with what you're doing.
Yeah, I think eventually it's going to be the DTV visa for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've even been thinking about now because since I work California time, I'm working nights, so even making classes has been kind of hard because usually a few hours of sleep. And
It's a useful exercise, though. Learning the language definitely makes life and integration much easier. It's a worthwhile exercise, and it's perfectly. I know that some people here do come on education visas or other visas like that, and basically take the piss and don't do anything.
Yeah.
But if you do it seriously, I think it's really worthwhile.
actually, our school's pretty good. They're on us. I guess in the past, people have just signed up and not shown up, and they're like, "You don't show up, we're gonna report you to immigration." I don't know if how much power they have, but they're like,
Yeah, no,
they're staying on top of us.
They do take it quite seriously,
Yeah.
because if immigration start looking at them, they will make life for them very difficult. So they like to be above board. That's for sure.
Do you speak Thai?
No, no, I'm afraid languages are not my forte.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where I lived in Spain. I lived all over the world. I never managed to pick up language. It's just not in the way I work.
Oh, okay.
Some people, I'm a mathematician and creative, but languages just don't stick.
Yeah.
So I learn enough to be polite. I think that's the least you can do.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to make myself quite aware of cultural differences and nuances, so you don't upset people, and just a way of life, And I quite like the fact that the Thai way is never lose your temper, never make anyone lose face. Politeness gets you a long way. Well, that's the kind of life I'm perfectly happy with.
And California is very tense, especially now with all the politics going on. And I don't really claim one side or the other, but it's. I was just talking to my mother about this yesterday. I gave her a call, and talking about one of my cousins wanted to date but needed to find someone that was in the political party that he's in. And I was like, this is so crazy that politics have become this strong where now your partner needs to be in the same alignment. And I kind of, I've only been here a year, but told my mom, just from hearing her stories of America in the 60s and 70s, I feel like Thailand might be a little bit like that. 60s and 70s. It's more about going out and hanging out with people, from what I could tell, instead of just watching TV all day and then
Yeah.
have an
So,
opinion.
what's your average day like then? Can you describe your day?
Each day's a little bit different, but basically I work. Since I run my own business, I try to go sleep around 3 or 4. But like today, it was 8 a.m., 9 a.m. So just depending on how much the workload and the clients need. But I'll sleep and I'll wake up anywhere depending on the time I go to sleep. I try to get 8 hours and wake up like might be 1 p.m., might be 5 p.m. And then I go to the beach. I try to get a walk or a run in on the beach to get some sun time, and then hang out with some friends. I love playing pool, so I'll go play pool, have a couple pints, and then go home, relax for a couple hours, and then start work.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, it's obviously quite a difficult timeline, but you're actually getting the best part of the day.
Yeah.
You know, the last few hours before sunset are obviously the best, in my opinion. You know, it's not quite so hot. You get the if you're on the West Coast, is that where you're
Yeah,
based?
Kamala Beach.
Yeah, exactly. So you get the sunsets, which are fantastic. Yeah.
I love that area. But yeah, it's like when I first moved here, I was going to Rawai. I was going everywhere on the island, and I noticed I've kind of just stuck in Kamala, and even go to Patong. It's too much. It's too crazy for me. But my friends that go there, I just stay in Kamala. I just love the little town, little community, although it's growing pretty rapidly. But I got everything I need there, and I'm happy to stay there. Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell me what has worked for you? And then can you tell me what hasn't worked for you since you've moved here?
As far as
Anything. Just life. One thing you said hasn't worked is getting a bank account. So that's sort of one difficulty you've had. But let's go on the positive. What has worked for you? You know, your lifestyle. Do you feel healthier? Do you feel mentally better?
Oh, 100%. 100%. When I first came here, I came 2 months to test. Like, can I run my business at night? Am I gonna like slack off and party too much? And can I stay focused? And after 2 months, I was like, yeah, I can. And it's just my mood has completely changed. When I first came here, I had a girlfriend. We broke up since then, but she was like, "Oh my God, the first like month or two you were here, you were so stressed, just neurotic and worrying about clients and payments coming in and how do I get my money and I need to find a place to live. I need a year lease, so I'm not spending money on Airbnbs." And she's after that, after 6-7 months, she was like, "You're a completely different person." You're more like, I'll figure it out. So that's been a great deal. I think a lot of that has to do with just nature, ocean and beach and sun, and also respect, just going out and having respect. Now, the Thai people are so respectful, and that feels so good because in California, where I lived last 4 or 5 years, kind of the area I grew up, it's a nice area, but it has its rough patches, and there's just this tension. Just you go out and there's just a dirty look. There's at any moment there could be a problem. If I went to I stopped going to bars there. It was fights and even gunshots and knives and stuff like that. And here I have not even had one problem going out and playing pool and having some drinks or just day-to-day life. Sure, it happens. I hear about it, but for me, that has completely worked out. My mood's completely changed. I feel healthier, even though I'm not completely healthy, but I feel healthier, and my mood has completely shifted up, and I'm scared the honeymoon phase is going to end and I'm going to come down, but
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So what is the main upside for you living in Phuket?
There's a lot. For me, my personal happiness is number one. Kind of like what I just talked about. Just people being genuinely nice, trying to keep the problems away, keep the harmony. Don't create a big problem. Kind of let it slide. I've had to learn to do that too, which has been great for me. But my personal happiness, second, is the pricing. It's cheaper here, although Phuket is expensive compared to the rest of Thailand. Compared to California, even the worst parts of California right now, it's uncomparable. I mean, I talk to friends and family back home, and it's insane how much they're paying at the grocery store. And you could get super, super cheap food, especially Thai food here. Pricing and just having a little more dignity. And you also asked for the bad stuff, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I was going to say, frustrations or problems?
I mean, you're going to get hassled by police. Police are going to pull you over, especially if you're filleting a foreigner. So, but I haven't had too many problems with that. I'm still on the international driver's license. I need to get my Thai license, but as long as you have everything sorted, it's surprising to see a lot of foreigners come in and just argue with the cops and yell, and especially when they're like a week vacation or something. It's like, always be respectful. And someone told me once it's better to be polite than honest.
Yes.
And so I'm just surprised about how many people come here and how rude certain foreigners could be. It shocks me, but that's probably been the most shocking thing is, seeing foreigners.
Some tourists and parts of the island are difficult, rather entitled and not really integrating and not culturally aware, riding scooters which they wouldn't ride back home because they've got no experience, with no protective wear, no licenses, and when it goes wrong or the police pull them over, you can't argue with the police here like you might feel you've got a grievance in back home. That does not work here. That would be perceived as very rude. Like I say, politeness is the way to go, and it's likely to get far better if you say, "I'm sorry, I didn't understand. I'm very sorry." That will get you someone who, "Oh, how dare you pull me over?" It's not going to get you very far at all.
Yeah, it's been shocking to me seeing some of that stuff. That's probably been the biggest. I would say some of the biggest negative situations I've had involve foreigners, which I'm also one, so I understand.
Yeah. So, what sort of person do you think would suit your current lifestyle? So, in other words, what sort of person would what you're doing work for, and what sort of person would struggle
to move here?
Yeah, just to do what you're doing.
Well, I don't have kids. I'm 40 and don't have kids. Never been married.
So he's single.
That makes it really easy. But I see lots of families that move here. But as far as my personality, I mean, I probably should have done it. You hear this a lot. I wish I would have just done this sooner. I'm definitely in that boat. I probably should have cut the 4 years of hell into 2 years and then came here. But I think also what doesn't work is people coming here thinking they're gonna live. All the Instagram and YouTube videos that say you can live on $500 a month. We've all heard this. It's not true, especially in Phuket. You could do it, but you're probably gonna be living next to a 7-Eleven, homeless or something. But I think people coming here and going broke, or not realizing the ATM situation or the banking situation, as we just discussed. So I think that's a problem. I know Thailand's not for everybody. I've had one friend from Turkey come here and was like, just didn't vibe with it. I was shocked because I rarely meet people that don't like it. But I think if you like to be in a rush and you go to 7-Eleven before work and want to grab a quick coffee, that 7-Eleven might take 20 minutes. Because the workers are going a little slower. And the way I look at it is, when I'm back in America, it's like get in, get out. And I kind of like that the workers not stressed out of their mind and they're more relaxed. And that's why we all come here, is to be a little more relaxed. So I'd say someone that's a little prompt and needs everything quick, unless they're super rich, they could probably get that here. But I would say someone like that. If you don't like Thai food, that's probably gonna be a problem. So. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's been really, really, I don't want to say easy, but it really has. Yeah. It really has. So.
What's next? Where will you be 12 months' time, 5 years' time? Where do you see yourself?
I feel like I'm in a job interview again. I haven't had that question in a while. So I'm trying not to think too far ahead. I'm just trying to go day by day. That's also what changed since I moved here, right? So I always try to have a 5-year plan, 2-year plan. I have my business plans, but as far as life, it's like I'm starting to look, maybe I need to start traveling outside Phuket and look at other places that maybe are a little more relaxed, just to test stuff. Because I've only been to Bangkok and Phuket.
You've not been to Koh Samui or anything
like
that?
Nowhere.
Even up the road to Phang Nga. It's a different world.
It's yeah, I mean, I work a lot. But I could take my computer with me. But I got into my normal day-to-day life, and I realized I haven't traveled. So now that's getting into low season. Like Koh Lanta is somewhere I really want to go, and I still haven't been to Chiang Mai. Actually, 3-4 years ago when I was on vacation here, I missed my flight. I was supposed to go to Bangkok, then Chiang Mai, and then fly home. And I went on a date with a girl, and she was like, "Hey, Chiang Mai is doing burn season right now." I was like, "No, I don't. I know nothing." She's like, "Okay." Like, well, where should I go? She's like, "Oh, no, you're Falang. You probably like Phuket." And I just typed beach towns that weren't too party crazy, and Kamala came up. And then I went to Kamala and fell in love with it. So still haven't been to Chiang Mai, so that's still on the list. But there's tons of places in Thailand that I need to check out.
But it's essentially you see yourself in Thailand, or
Yeah, or maybe somewhere in Southeast Asia. But if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
So far I'm pretty happy here, and I've even been watching other YouTube channels. One used to be called Naked Guru, but he switched it to his name. But about foreigners in Isan that are married and they buy these houses and have farms. And Isan kind of reminds me of the place I grew up in, California. It's actually agriculture. It's in the Central Valley. It's not LA. It's not nothing like that. It's really hot. And so Isan and the Isan people I meet, I don't know. There's something about it that just makes me want to go back. So yeah, so I kind of want to go to Isan, check it out. But yeah, I don't know, everywhere.
Right. So Jay, you're a single bloke. What's life like for you here in Phuket?
Dating life is it's been ups and downs. It's been fun. I have a buddy who's going. I didn't date much before I moved here. I was engaged to get married, didn't go great, and for 4 years I just was married to my business, getting it off the ground. So I dated here and there, but not much. And when I came here, I probably dated quite a bit. I guess this kind of transitions into, we're talking about respect earlier, having respect, foreigners coming here and having respect. I do think there's a lot of people that come here to party, and there's definitely you could have a fun party time here, and you could waste a lot of months. Everyone warns on drinking, but partying here is fun. It's great. I like to go out. I love to play pool. I like the little small dive bars. Certain bars, you are going to get bar girls, and foreigners, the bar girls are very flirtatious, and there's a transactional kind of idea behind this. So many guys, I think, just assume all Thai women are like this. And they go to a grocery store, a bank, or a tattoo parlor, and there's a recent viral clip of 3 foreigners kind of crowding around a young girl on her break from her tattoo job. And they're grabbing her and touching her. And I immediately said, these guys hang out at the bar with girls that are very flirtatious, that are trying to maybe get you to drink or make some money. And they think every girl's like this, and they're just going and grabbing, and it's very shocking for me. And I wonder if they would do that in their home country. Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't, but I assume not. So I think dating here is quite crazy. I feel like dating in Phuket is like dating in Las Vegas or Miami, Florida. It's something that people date a lot, and cheating and stuff like that seems to happen quite a bit. But there's some amazing people here. I've dated I dated an amazing girl here. She worked for the government in the visa process. Super educated. Parents are teachers. But so like anywhere else, there's so many different types of women, and I think foreigners definitely get the wrong idea when they hang out at bars every night and every day, and they think every girl is like a bar girl. And there's nothing against bar girls. I have friends that are bar girls. They make money for their family. They do what they got to do. But I definitely think even with bar girls, I've seen foreigners get a little disrespectful. So I would say that's a big thing. But dating in Phuket's fun, but it's also a bit dodgy as well, I would say. So, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So the famous, I've heard it from Naked Guru, his YouTube channel, is a lot of foreigners come here thinking they're the predator, but they're actually the prey. So be careful. Yeah. But there are some amazing girls that just want love and everything like that. But if you're hanging out at the bars and stuff like that, you're definitely the prey. Watch out, because these girls are smart, and they will get you, and you'll be in love, and it might work out, it might not, but just be careful, I'd say. Yeah.
So the last question I always ask is, what haven't I asked you, and what would you tell somebody who's thinking about coming here or maybe interested in what you're doing? Yeah. What's the key thing you would say, don't forget or be aware of?
First off, I feel like I should go without saying, is just be aware you're a guest here. You're a guest here, and a lot of people get comfortable really quick here. You're a guest here. Show respect to the Thai people. The Thai people are going to give you respect, but you got to give respect back, and don't take their kindness for weakness, because Thai people are not weak.
No.
And you will find out the wrong way. Thai people are amazing, but you need to be pretty amazing yourself. So have respect. I mean, you are a guest. I 100% feel like a guest here, and don't come here. I'm a Western person, and oh, it's Thailand. There's no rules. There's no laws. I could run red lights. I could do whatever I want. Banking, you need to make sure your banking's right. Your income, whether you're retired, okay, great. You got some type of income coming, but don't be one of these 25-year-olds that come here with $800 in the bank account. I'm a hypocrite because I've traveled a lot of times with just a few bucks in the bank, but don't come here to live with just that much. Come for vacation, that's fine, but if you're going to try to just, oh, I'll figure it out. Oh, I hear a lot of people on Reddit and blogs like, I'm going to get a job here. I'm going to come and get some type of job. No, Thai nationals get the jobs. There's not a lot of jobs for foreigners. It does happen here and there, but good luck. So come here. You're going to need some type of online income or some type of retirement income or savings or something going on. Yeah.
Excellent. That's good advice. Well, thank you, Jay. That was great. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you want to see some more, do subscribe. It will help the channel grow. And I'll see you in the next one.
Okay.
Easy fucking peasy.